Alright, so we're going to be knocking out some Patreon requests today. And as always, if you'd like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link in the description box below. Hit the third tier, that'll allow you access to do so, as well as check out all the other stuff that is exclusive on the other Patreon tiers as well. But as always, let's get started with our first Patreon request coming from Nolan Unejo, who asked me to do basically a how would you do a Miki Segusa standalone movie? Now, there was a lot of talk, apparently, and I guess this has got confirmed not to happen, is that there was some talk of, like, Toho wanting to do, like, a Miki Segusa standalone movie. I don't know how valid those rumors were, but I guess it doesn't matter since Minus One made buku money, so it doesn't matter, so they're just going to work on Yamazaki's next Godzilla project. So yeah. So basically what this is just going to be like a what was I going to say? Just a movie pitch for like a movie centered around Miki Segusa. So obviously we're calling back to the Heisei era of Godzilla. I guess like how I would do a movie centered around her is like you have to have Godzilla. Like, you gotta have Godzilla in the story. Not just because it is in the Godzilla universe, but also the fact of the matter is that Godzilla is kind of, like, Godzilla's integral to Miki's character, from showing her, like, yeah, I'm here to help, humanity fight against Godzilla, to, hey, Godzilla actually protects the Earth, and he has an important role for this kind of shit. Maybe we should probably, not kill him. Yeah, that's just kind of the thing. So, how would I do a Godzilla? I mean, how would I do a Miki Segusa movie? That's kind of the big question here. Is how could it be done? So, how I think I would do a Miki Segusa movie is probably, like I said, somewhere in the timeline, like somewhere in the Heisei timeline. The thing I'm thinking is that I would set it probably between the events of Godzilla versus Mothra, and Godzilla and Mothra, and then also between Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. So we have this spot where, after the events of Godzilla and Mothra battle for Earth, we essentially have a Miki who's kind of like, well, Godzilla's still out there. He's still, he's basically got beaten after his battle with Batra and Mothra. He's now just kind of like laying low. However, there is reports I would have in this movie is that Miki is now like rising higher in the ranks and more or less becoming like the headmistress of the psychics of the school for psychics. And what's going on is that G-Force is picking up like a lot of chatter that there's been a large sea monster attacking several boats and several like military vessels from different nations, and the fingers are being pointed at Godzilla. But for some reason, Miki Miki doesn't believe it's Godzilla yet. Like, she doesn't believe fully that it's Godzilla, even though a lot of G-Force is like, yeah, we haven't seen him since his fight with Mothra and Batra. Maybe he's just kind of like laying low for right now. Like, maybe that's the whole point of this, is that he's just kind of maybe this is him like regaining his strength, and he's just attacking whatever's in our territory. But Miki believes there's more to this in this matter, and when she's sent out on a mission to, go out and find Godzilla and see if you could ward him off psychically, she does find a creature, but the difference is that when she tries to, like, use her psychic abilities to, drive the creature, what she thinks is Godzilla, off, she just immediately gets hit with, like, a psychic backlash. And she's immediately like, there's no way that was supposed to happen. Like, I've been in Godzilla's head, and it's really strong. This was like someone else, but it's not like that. It's not like Godzilla could just kick me out. he could do that, but like this felt like someone was fighting back, like attacking me instead. So she basically tells G-Force like, "Hey, there's another psychic out there." So what this movie would be is that Miki is trying to clear Godzilla's name, also find that like, yeah, Godzilla is, you know, important to the world, even though yes, he has been, you know, a threat, but he's also been able to ward off threats, you know, obviously doing battle with Batra and Biolante, and King Ghidorah. There are, like, he's a necessary force, like he's a deterrent against other monsters. I'd also have that essentially Miki, as she's investigating this, she finds out that it's another psychic, you know, it's another psychic with their own monster, Titanosaurus. So yeah, this is where I'd love to have like the Heisei version of Titanosaurus, where essentially what it is that this psychic who was driven out of the academy because their family was killed in the fight between Godzilla and Ghidorah. In a Godzilla attack where he was battling Mothra and Batra, excuse me. And essentially, he was like, "Yeah, I left the academy because, like, you know, we're not doing anything. We're just deterring Godzilla." And eventually, he found his way to finding and using his psychic abilities to like reach out and attack Godzilla, but instead woke up Titanosaurus. So it would be like this is how we get Heisei Titanosaurus, and also have that Miki now has to battle this very gifted psyker who can rival her psychic abilities. So we have this cool duology of like, not only is Godzilla fighting against a new threat, Miki is too. So that's kind of the idea I would push, is like, this would be more of a Miki-based story, but this would be also, like, again, you need to have Godzilla, and it would be cool to see, like, a Heisei Titanosaurus. And Titanosaurus, it makes a lot of, and why I picked Titanosaurus specifically was because Titanosaurus has had connections to psychic, you know, people using psychics, psionic and sonic abilities to control him, and he was enslaved by someone with great power. Obviously aliens, but here we're using a rogue psychic. Anyway, so that's the idea, is like we open that door after Godzilla, Miki defeats him, and then, you know, Godzilla defeats Titanosaurus. Miki it now opens the door to her being more open to protecting Godzilla and seeing that there's more of a point to him, that we saw that door open more in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. So that's basically my idea right there. But yeah, you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of this, and how would you do a Miki Segusa movie pitch? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, I'd like to thank Nolan Unejo for this Patreon request, as well as continued patronage. Other than that, yeah, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.